It is the late 19th century in New York City, and the famous author of the Tom Sawyer series, Mark Twain, has a problem, a very unique and hard digestive problem. And his friend Nikola Tesla has a very unique and creative solution to his problem. He will try to use his new invention that has been dubbed the earthquake machine. He hopes that the vibrations will ease his lower abdomen. And as soon as he turned on that machine, Mark Twain, the man famous for his white suits, was headed straight to the bathroom, which he did not make, by the way. And that's who I'm going to go over today about. Nikola Tesla, a man who always had an intriguing sense about how to use technology. I'd like to go a little bit about his early life, some of his inventions, and how we still use this technology to this day. Nikola Tesla was born on July 10, 1856, in the Austrian Empire, which is now located in Croatia, to suburban parents. He came from a highly religious family. Both his father and his mother's father were ordained Orthodox priests, but he actually credited his mother for his love of learning. She would often recite long poems from memory for him, and would often whip up her own household gadgets. He had 3 sisters and an older brother, but he had died when Tesla was just a small child. He had a pretty normal childhood for the time period, and even though we think of him as a genius today, he was often accused of being a cheater just because of his photo-like memory. After a bout of cholera that almost ended his life as a young man, he bounced around Europe, studying and learning whatever he could, though he never actually completed his university degree. In 1882, he got a job at one of Thomas Edison's company located in Paris. And from there, he became so proficient at troubleshooting this new utility called electricity that by 1884, he was in America. And from there, he went on to create and expand so much more of his knowledge. Tesla's list of inventions is both long and incomplete. And this is because he didn't always file for patents, and he didn't always let people see his work. His most well-known invention was the alternate current motor, or what we call AC power. Before AC, Thomas Edison was equipping every home with DC power, which was safer, but it was expensive, and it really didn't have a good reach for everyone. He also invented neon lights, fluorescent lights, giant turbines, and then there was the Tesla coil, which was a low current, high voltage power source. He used this mainly as the basis for his experiments, though he would also use it as a party trick. He would like to hold light bulbs in his hand and wirelessly turn it on from a few feet away. Tesla also had lesser known inventions that predate other inventors who took credit for him. One of those was the X-ray, which he at the time called a shadowgraph. He was trying to take up his photo of his friend Mark Twain, but somehow managed to take an X-ray of the camera itself. And this was months before a scientist even came out to say that he had discovered X-ray waves. He also dabbled with radio waves using his Tesla coil, though his lab burned down in a fire before he got to show any of his work. And by that time, when he came back to it, somebody had already claimed they had invented the wireless telegraph machine, which is basically the radio. And then he also had these oddball inventions, which was borderline mad science experiments. Now, these are incomplete or only just referenced in his notes. And these were things like the earthquake machine or the death ray. Seriously. And he also experimented with artificial tidal waves. He had tried to set up a wireless electricity grid and have it free for everyone, though, of course, no investor would take the bait. And so we lost out on that. We still see his inventions being used consistently in the modern world 75 years after his death as an American citizen in New York City on January 7th, 1943. Tesla's AC beat out to Edison's DC in the current wars. And we have it in every one of our homes today. He had been using wireless electricity 100 years before it became commonplace in expensive cell phone chargers. We still use X-rays to save lives every day. And as you're watching this video, you're probably using radio waves to stay connected to the internet through your Wi-Fi. We see a reemergence of his interest in him in books and movies, and even the Tesla Motor Company is named after him. And I hope you have enjoyed this video about Nikola Tesla, learned a little bit about his life, got a glimpse into his work, some of how his inventions shaped our world. And I want to leave you with this quote by Nikola Tesla himself. "My brain is only a receiver in the universe. There is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration.